And we are back. Welcome to my preview and predictions for the final of the Under-21s European Championship. 3 weeks have come and gone already, and what an unbelievable championship we have had so far. We started off with 16 teams, and now just 2 remain. You can see on your screen what a pair of teams it is. It's England versus Germany, the old enemy once again. And look, before we get into it, as always, if you've enjoyed this series, if you've enjoyed the Under-21 Championships, let me know by dropping a like on this video. Share it with a friend if you have people that were now interested in this final because England are in it and want to know how we've been getting on. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe with notifications turned on because not only are we going to be continuing with the football predictions over the course of the summer, we're obviously already running our Club World Cup series, but starting next week, our Women's European Championship series will be starting as well, and you guys can get involved in that on this channel as well. And if you want to be even more incredible, if you want to support the channel going in towards the 2025-26 season, if you hit the join button at the bottom of your screen, you will be able to become a member of this channel to gain access to exclusive perks by being a member. But without any further ado, here it is, the match itself, England versus Germany. You can see at the top of your screen right now, we've got 17 out of 30 for this Under-21s Championships, 3 correct scores, which does, of course, include perfectly predicting England's semi-final against the Netherlands, which we did do as a 2-1 victory. We didn't quite get the Germany-France prediction right, but we did predict Germany to get to this position. So, let's get into it. The match itself, it is England against Germany. And for me, straight away, even though I am an England fan, there is an immediate clear favourite for this match, and that is, of course, Germany. So far, in this tournament, Germany have played 5, won 5. Yes, they did have to go to extra time against Italy, but the final result stands. They have played 5 and won 5, whereas England have played 5, won 3, drawn 1, and lost 1. And crucially, the most important stat of probably the entire preview and prediction video, the loss that England suffered was to Germany in the final group stage match. But even more worrying as an England fan coming into this match is that England played their full first team in that match and Germany played their reserves. Now, just literally 10 days later, England will now have to go up against Germany's first team. So for me, Germany immediately become clear favourites coming into this match. Furthermore, they have had by far the standout player of this tournament in Waldemar. 6 goals and 3 assists in just 4 matches, because he was one of those players who didn't play against England in that final group stage. He has just agreed terms to sign for Bayern Munich this summer, in a summer where everyone's after strikers. Bayern, in my opinion, have got the best young striker going right now in Waldemar, and they're going to get him on the cheap as well, because seemingly all these other top clubs are going for 80 million for Ekitike and 80 million for Gyökeres and 80 million for Sesko. Bayern are going to get Waldemar on a much cheaper deal than that. And to be honest, from what I've seen from him, he looks like the top young striker coming through. I'm aware Gyökeres isn't young compared to Sesko, Ekitike and Waldemar, but what a signing he has been. To be fair, England have had a few standout players, certainly in these knockout stages, and obviously the 2 standout players have been James McAtee and Harvey Elliott over the last couple of games, in particularly Harvey Elliott in that semi-final. Unbelievable performance from him, and the 2 goals that he scored, incredible. Both pretty individual goals, but the team as a whole has got better and better, strength to strength, round to round. So for those of you that are thinking, oh, he's just absolutely convinced Germany are going to win this game, let me say it to you right now. That game may have been 10 days ago, but the 2 games England have played since then, they have looked better in the quarterfinal, and they've looked better again in the semi-final. Going back to my concerns in regards to Germany, though, you've got to look at it from the perspective of, I did think they would struggle against Italy, and they did struggle against Italy. It'd be interesting to know what would have happened if Italy didn't have their 2 players sent off, because with 9 men, they forced extra time against Germany, but with the numbers advantage, Germany went on to win that quarter-final. And for all of those of you who were concerned that having to go to extra time just 3 days before playing France, they were blown completely out of the water when Germany absolutely eased past France 3-0, essentially without even breaking a sweat. They were absolutely dominant in that match. Finally then, we have, of course, the team news itself. For England, they look like, they will have Tyler Morton back. They won't look like they will have Tyler Morton available. He was suspended for the semi-final. However, due to strong performances from the likes of Elliot Anderson, obviously we've talked about Elliot and McAtee, but especially Alex Scott as well, it may be difficult for Morton to get back into that starting lineup, but we shall see. For Germany, no major concerns for them. However, they do have a potential injury in centre-back Rosenfelder, who went off injured very early on against France, but he also didn't play in the first game against England. He's obviously a first-choice option. If he's not fit, he could be a potential loss, but let's not forget, they basically played the entire semi-final without him and didn't really suffer any defensive problems. Final thing to say is these two sides have met in an under-21 final before. That was back in 2009. Germany won that final 4-0 with the likes of Boateng, Hummels, Neuer, Khedira, Mesut Ozil and a few others that you would recognise if you go back and look at that starting lineup. Are we going to see some of those future German stars taking to the field against England in this match? Or will England's young Lions go back-to-back? Because do not forget, England are the defending champions of this tournament. Lee Carsley knows how to win this tournament. And like I say, they've got better and better with every single round. But I just cannot, for the life of me, overlook the fact that the reserves beat us 10 days ago. I have to go for Germany here. I don't want to go for Germany. Obviously, I desperately want England to win this. There is nothing that pleases me more than seeing England doing well, and especially when it is the young players coming through to try and put pressure on that first team as we look ahead to the World Cup next summer. I pray that England can get the result, but for me, logic and just all reason dictates that Germany should be winning this game. So I'm going to go for 3-1 to Germany. Unbelievably, the bookmakers have England as favourites for this, which I think is absolutely baffling. And the only reason I can think they've done that is because we did win this tournament 2 years ago. But no, I just don't see it. I hope they do, but I personally don't see it right now. 3-1 to Germany. It could actually end up being more. I think they are just that good right now. But as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching this entire series. Obviously, like I say, we're going to be carrying on with the Club World Cup over the course of the next couple of weeks. Women's Euros will be starting next week as well. And that will basically take us all the way through until the start of the new season. I'm pretty sure the Women's Euro final is like a week before the Community Shield. So we've got plenty coming up for you over the course of the next few weeks. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I will see you again very, very soon.